Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone to another Ref Brandon and the Todd family YouTube video. Wherever you are, whatever you may be doing, thank you so much for making Ref Brandon and the Todd family a part of your day. We always greatly appreciate it. I figured since it's Monday and last night the NCAA March Madness Tournament Bracket came out today, I would discuss the bracket some. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you all 16 teams in each region because that would take forever. But you can easily get on pretty much any website that does sports in any way and find the entire bracket if you do so choose. But I want to discuss the top 4 seeds in each region, and if anybody has any predictions on who they think will win the national title, please feel free to let me know. I always enjoy getting your feedback, and don't forget, tomorrow night and Wednesday night we'll have the first 4, and tomorrow night's games are going to have Texas Southern going up against Texas A&M Corpus Christi, and then we're going to have Indiana going up against Wyoming. And if you watched Friday's video, you remember that I talked about, according to Joe Lenardi, as of Thursday, Indiana was out of the tournament, but they went a lot deeper in the Big Ten tournament than anybody thought they would. So that is why they have a chance to make the big dance by playing in one of the first 4 games tomorrow night. And then on Wednesday night, we have Bryant against Wright State, and Notre Dame goes up against Rutgers. And of course, the winners of those games will be the final 4 teams in. But in the West bracket, the top 4 seeds are Gonzaga. Of course, Gonzaga is the number 1 overall seed. Duke, Texas Tech, and Arkansas. And then in the South region, we have Arizona, Villanova, Tennessee, and Illinois. Now, Tennessee was probably not going to be a 3 seed until they won the SEC tournament, and they won it in pretty dominating fashion yesterday afternoon. But I think it's funny that we have Duke playing in the West, and we have Arizona as the 1 seed in the South. And then in the East region, we have Baylor, Kentucky, Purdue, and UCLA. And then in the Midwest region, we have Kansas, Auburn, Wisconsin, and the Friars of Providence. So our 4 1 seeds are Gonzaga, Baylor, Arizona, and Kansas. Now, if you follow the channel, you know that ever since I started talking about the weekly college basketball AP poll, that I've mentioned that I could see Arizona or UCLA going to the Final 4, because I think they're both really good. But outside of those 2 teams, the rest of the Pac-12 is a complete joke, in my opinion. So I could see Arizona coming out of the South, but I could also see Arizona going out in the second round. But most people always look at the brackets and always pick the 4 1 seeds. But first of all, that rarely happens. And second of all, this year, honestly, really, truly, the only consistent team all year long has been Gonzaga. Now, I know they lost 2 games early in the season, but then they looked dominant the rest of the year until they lost their regular season finale against St. Mary's. So it is easy to pick Gonzaga to win it all because they've played for 2 national championships. Now, they've lost both of them, but eventually they're going to get there and they're going to win one. I'm not saying it's going to be this year, but it is going to happen. Eventually, it might be this year. So it's hard to look at the bracket and pick the 4 1 seeds because there's always upsets. But at the same time, there's just no dominant team. So if you don't pick the 1 seed in each region, who do you pick? It's really a toss-up. You could just take your quarter and throw it in the air and pick a team, and if it lands on them, say, hey, they're going to win it. And you have as good a chance as anybody because there's just no dominant team. There was times this year where Auburn played great, and then about the past month, Auburn's looked terrible. And then there was times that Baylor looked really good, and then there were times where Baylor looked like complete utter garbage. And Kansas is always up and down. Kentucky's always up and down. They're just always highly ranked because they're Kentucky. And in my personal opinion, I don't think Duke is that good. Maybe I'm wrong, but I just don't see it. I think they're up there because they're Duke. So if you have any thoughts on the bracket, please feel free to let me know. If you want to go ahead and pick your national champion, please feel free to let me know. I'm going to wait until at least the Sweet 16 only because of the fact I could see any of the 1 seeds being out by the Sweet 16. But I could also see all 4 1 seeds still being around by the Sweet 16. So I'm going to wait till at least the Sweet 16 to make my prediction. But if you want to go ahead and make yours now, please feel free to let me know. If you have any thoughts on the first 4 that comes up tomorrow night and Wednesday night, please feel free to let me know. Let's go ahead and get our dad joke of the day in here. Why isn't dark spelled with a C? Because you can't see in the dark. And that wraps it up for today's Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Until next time, it's Ref Brandon saying, just like in pro wrestling, life can be over by the count of 3. Tell your friends and family how much you love them. Bye.